don't have an intro. There's no intro. Whatever. Fuck it. Let's just get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Devalorane, and today we're talking about just getting started. So you've been sitting there for days, weeks, sometimes months, considering whether or not you should fire up a stream or start making YouTube videos, or even just creating a 60-second video on TikTok, something like that. But you just can't seem to bring yourself to hit that go live button or hit that record button. What I'm here to talk to you about today is why you should just do it, and how to overcome some of those barriers or excuses that you might be putting in place that are holding you back from potentially succeeding, or maybe not succeeding. But how will you ever know? We live in a day and age now where the barrier to entry to content creation and internet success is incredibly low. And that's not to say that the bar is low in terms of what you need to do to be successful, but what it does mean is that realistically, today, right now, you could pick up your phone and you could start putting out content. You could fire up your phone and you could create a TikTok. You could post a selfie on Instagram. That counts as well, by the way. 90% of the people out there who are considering going into content creation don't even realize that they've probably already started building some form of community on something like Facebook or Instagram. Realistically, guys, this day and age, with how easy it is to get started, the main barrier for entry is going to be yourself. I'm talking about the excuses that you're making right now, or the reasons that you're telling yourself that you can't start today. Let's go through a couple of those. These are a couple of the most common reasons that I hear, or excuses that I hear, for people not starting. 1, I don't have the right equipment. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it should be this. Equipment is a nice thing to have to improve the quality of content you've already started creating. So, for example, you don't need an excellent camera. In fact, everyone watching this right now has one of these. Chances are you're watching me on it. There's apps out there that allow you to use your mobile phone as a webcam. Oftentimes it's going to be a better quality camera than if you were to get a dedicated webcam anyway. You don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on an XLR microphone and a interface and all of that sort of high-end equipment. In fact, this microphone here right now, this is the Rode NT USB, and brand new, it's not the cheapest USB microphone going around, but I got this one second-hand off Facebook Marketplace for about $80. Now, my first microphone was even cheaper than that. Lighting's probably a good idea, but I started out streaming with my bedside lamp. Do I recommend that? Probably not. It gave off so much heat and it lit the entire room, so it wasn't ideal, but it's a start. Now, if I show you, I use just this little ring light here, and that I picked up for $12 at Kmart. So there is a small entry, I suppose, to be able to put out content of a certain level. But a lot of people have it in their minds that you're going to have to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get yourself set up before you can even hit go live, and that's simply not true. The second thing I think holds a lot of people back is fear. What if nobody likes my content? What if nobody watches? What if I'm no good? Let me let you in on a little secret about that. Nobody is good when they start. Nobody switches on their camera and has an amazing presence the first time they go live. Nobody knows exactly how to talk to an empty chat room for hours on end. Nobody knows exactly what they're doing the first time they do it. And if they do, it's probably because they've built those skills somewhere else and brought them in. So it's not necessarily starting fresh for them anyway. But if it is for you, it's important to remember that your first few streams you might struggle through. You might bumble your words. You probably will either get too focused on gameplay and not notice chat very well, or get too focused on gameplay and probably die a lot in your games, or not perform very well in whatever game you're playing. That's okay as well. If I had to suggest one of those options, it would absolutely be the second one. Because the majority of people coming to your stream are coming there to interact with you, and they don't actually care about your gameplay as much as you do, unless you're Shroud or someone of that level where your main drawing card is the fact that you're an absolute weapon at the game that you're playing. Take that pressure off yourself about having to perform at both chatting, gameplay, everything that's going on, changing scenes, and putting on this high production show when you haven't even had the chance to practice those things yet. Because I promise you, your first stream is probably not going to be excellent. But guess what? Your second stream is going to be 10 times better. And your third's going to be 10 times better again. And so on and so on and so on. And it is really just a case of the more you practice and take the time to identify the areas that you can improve on, the better they're going to get. Watch your VODs after you finish up a stream and try to imagine you were a viewer. If you were a viewer, how would you feel sitting in that stream? Would you feel like a part of that community? Or do you feel like you're just watching someone playing a game? And what can you do as a streamer now to help build that experience for the viewers you've got? But you don't need to stress about these things the first time that you turn on your stream. These things will come with practice and putting in the time and effort to improve that craft. But Dava, I don't even know where to start. Do I go to Twitch? Do I go to Facebook, YouTube, DLive? Where do I go? When you first start out, I'd probably go to as many as you can. There's services out there like Restream, for example, that allow you to stream to multiple platforms at once. And this is a bit of a polarizing topic in the community about whether or not multi-streaming is good. And a lot of people will tell you that you're diluting your brand by putting yourself out on multiple places rather than dedicating yourself to one single platform. When you first go live, you need to remember that you don't really even have a brand yet. So there's nothing yet to dilute. You don't have an audience. You don't have a community. The best way I can suggest building these things is to put yourself in front of as many people as you can. You might blow up on YouTube, or you might take off on Facebook, and Twitch might not be the answer. Or you might find that those two don't go so well and Twitch does amazingly. These are the sort of decisions that you can make down the track. You don't have to have all these answers figured out on day one. But if I had to suggest a place to start, I'd honestly probably start with something like Facebook or YouTube rather than Twitch, especially if this is your first step into content creation and you have nothing backing you up yet. You have no videos on YouTube, you have no external following on another platform to drive to Twitch. I'd absolutely recommend putting yourself on a platform with more discoverability, because you're going to have a better time picking up an audience somewhere where you can be found. At the end of the day though, you can't take the first step without taking the first step, and that first step is absolutely just to start. Sit down, think about what your first stream's going to look like, what are you going to play, what are you going to do, and then hit go live and just have fun. Take off some of the pressure and just enjoy yourself. Play the game, have a chat with some people. You'll surely get one or two pop in and say hello no matter where you go, hopefully, and even if you don't, log in again the next time, try it all again. Guys, there's a great quote I heard from Will Smith once, and I don't remember exactly what it said because it was years ago, but the long and short of it was that you don't set out to build a house and just build a house. The first thing you have to focus on doing is laying that first brick, and then the second brick, and the more and more bricks that you lay, sooner or later, you build a house. And the same thing can be used to talk about streaming. Don't think about the entire brand and everything that goes into it all at once. The first step is just to get started. And you can do it. I believe in you. I was like you. I still am like you. I've only been in this for about 2 months now. I'm very new. I remember the first time I hit go live as well, and how nerve-wracking that was, how scary that was. But what I can promise you is that I am so glad I did. Guys, if you enjoyed this video or if it helped at all, please leave a like down below. hit subscribe, and head over to my Twitch channel. I'm live Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. The times are available in your time zone on my About Me section there. So jump across, hit follow, and make sure to catch me live. We can talk about this more. But until next time, just do it, guys. You've got this. Bye.